In today's episode, we take a look at setups on Swiss franc JPY, Aussie dollar CAD, New Zealand dollar CAD, and EURCAD. We also take a look at some of the best trades this week in our Discord training room. Enjoy. Before we get started, I'm thrilled to announce our new partnership with Forex Capital Markets, aka FXCM. The reason I am excited about this partnership is because with FXCM, you have the option of trading on TradingView. So those traders that would love to trade on TradingView and be part of our community, you can now do so. By using our affiliate link in the description, you will not only be supporting our community, but you will get full access to our live trading room and our advanced price action trading program. More information on our website. Alright, so the first chart I want to discuss is Swiss franc JPY again. And this is one we've been patiently waiting for. And just to give you guys the rundown, after the market cleared these lows, we had the big impulsive move and then the slow reach around to this liquidity. And I'm looking for the market to form a correction here, and then ideally I would like the market to go higher and eventually take all this untapped liquidity at the top here. So quite a big move that we're looking at, considering this is a daily time frame. Now jumping to the 4-hour time frame, we did mark off this area last week, but we still haven't returned back to this area. Now it is possible that we could just be forming a running flat and then it'll be going higher. If that is the case, I'll probably be left on the sidelines. I do think that the market has to fill this void, and I don't see any clear levels to take trades off in this area. So maybe next week, even if we do find a bit of a correction here, there might be a bit of a flip zone set up over here. And if you're aggressive, you could potentially play the short. Although I'm more interested in catching the long, and hopefully we'll form a bit of an expanding flat. And if we do get to this breaker block and pivot level, ideally here we'll get a nice tight entry. And if this one works out, it'll be a great reward ratio trade. One of those, you just need one of these a month and you'll be good. So yeah, one that's still on the watch list. So I just wanted to update you guys on this one. Right, so next up I'm going to look at Aussie dollar CAD, and with all the Aussie dollar pairs, my long-term view on this is just more upside. This was the end of the rate cutting cycle for the Aussie dollar, and I do expect it to just get stronger from now on. But we can't really look for any buy setups up here. We're going to have to wait for corrections if you want to continue adding to your longs. And I'm looking for potentially playing a bit of a corrective pattern here. And we're going to be looking at a significant point of liquidity that we are at, and we're going to be looking at some scenarios to start looking for a bit of a correction to the downside. Now I've jumped to the 8-hour time frame, and as I've mentioned, we had quite a big point of liquidity. So this is where we start watching for signs of reversal. As it stands right now, there's no signs. We're still trading above this, and it looks like a bit of a corrective pattern forming. So until we get that clear indication that the momentum is switching, we can't really be looking for any entries. But what I am looking for is if we do make a consolidation above this liquidity and we do have the impulsive move down, then ideally I'll look for a correction to get short this market. And my target would be this next point of liquidity before I'll start looking for longs again. Now, alternatively, if this one just starts breaking higher, the next point of liquidity will be the one that I'll start looking for signs of reversal. And as you guys know, we have those reversal patterns that we look for. And if we do get here, then hopefully again the same sort of target. I'll be looking for a corrective pattern towards the downside. This is against the main trend, so you have to be careful, but definitely some opportunities to the downside on some Aussie dollar pairs. Alright, so next up I want to look at New Zealand dollar CAD that was submitted by Karabu, and he's looking for a bit of a head and shoulders pattern to get short on the New Zealand dollar CAD. Now if I bring up the chart on my trading view, I want to just discuss a couple of examples. And if the head and shoulders develop, this is our neckline. But for us to find high probability head and shoulders pattern, we need this right shoulder to form as a correction. So just a move up like this would not be a corrective pattern. But if we do perhaps find next week another move lower and then we form the right shoulder like this, we might have a bit of an expanding flat, which is a corrective pattern. So if we have this scenario, then I might look to get short this market and anticipate the head and shoulders pattern for a move lower. The alternative scenario, if I can just zoom out a little bit, is perhaps for this market to make one more move to the upside to the top of this trend line. To form a bit of a 3-drive pattern, and over here we'll start hunting for shorts, and I'll have the same sort of targets, the bottom of this trend line, which will also come in to a bit of a flip zone area over here. So again, we're going to have to wait to see how it develops, but we're definitely hunting shorts on this one. But as of right now, there's no setups for me to enter this market. All right, and the last setup I want to discuss is EURCAD, submitted by Mr. IBM, and this is a 2-hour time frame, and he's looking at a bit of a short on the EURCAD once it returns to this to the breaker block. If I can just switch to my TradingView account, this is the breaker block that is marked off. This is the last bearish move before the market around these stops, and ideally what he would like is a bit of a move back to this area. And I've also got a level marked a little bit higher, which is this pivot point or even a bit of a flip zone area over here. So we'll be using these two areas as our potential action zones, and hopefully we'll find some price action in this area or even this area to get short this market. And ideally what we want is for the market to clear these clean lows over here. So quite a big trade or potential trade, so one we'll put on our watch list. All right, that's it from me, guys. I'll see you all in the trading room.